And I'm hopping into this game right now. I see that Swooped and dcoy are actually just they're warming up still. So Slasher, why don't you why don't you hop on into this one? You know, people came to watch QuakeLive, not to listen to music and look at a static screen. So I think we give them what they want.
Yeah, and a quick update from the Hang. He says that Chance had to leave his house now to beat a winter storm as he is driving towards the Hang's house to land in preparation for the.
Well, you know what? I think that could be the best excuse that I've ever heard for a forfeit, and I do not mean that in a facetious manner at all, Slasher, because you know the IM is a big event. The Storms have been kicking our ass all over the United States, so I hope that he drives safe and he'll get that done. It's too bad that he couldn't just postpone it or reschedule it. I'm sure he would have, but for the sake of time, that's probably the best excuse I've heard ever. We're gonna get some more action going. So this is where is this at? The winner of this match will take on the Hang.
The Nudes. No, the winner will play the Nudes, and the winner of that match will play the Hang.
Gotcha.
So it will be DM6 and Horny7 as our maps, and ZTN as the tiebreaker map. So now we're gonna have DM6, and you know we've had so many discussions and so many arguments on the forums and IRC.
All right, we'll see on warm up here.
So as I was saying a little bit, DM6 has been around for so long, forever. And I was one of those people where I advocated the removal of DM6 because I feel it's just we needed the new maps and we're going to have to remove things. DM6 would probably be like the first map to go for me. But then seeing all these matches the past, I don't know, year or so on DM6, there have been so many amazing, amazing matches where I think you got to keep it.
You know, I understand your philosophy. I just, I want to promote more map. Look at how well T9 integrated. I think that T9 basically went against what everyone says the reasons are for not having new maps. And it's things like, we have to relearn all of these maps, blah, 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 blah. I mean, look at how quickly people picked up T9 and how quickly it evolved. What would be wrong adding some good new maps? That would be the only reason I would take it out, though, Slasher. DM6, there's a lot of history as it comes to, when it comes to Quake. And DM6, both TDM, 1v1. So, I mean, I totally agree with you on many levels, but at the same time, I don't want it to prevent us from, seeing better maps.
No, I agree, and I want new maps. I mean, it is time to have new maps if we see how great T7 and T9 is. So I'm not disputing that. This map, I thought it was the first one out, and it turned out to be really good. So now we're going live.
3, 2, 1, and we are live. Swooped and dcoy are going to fight over that LG, and dcoy should just basically be raping him with that LG. He finally does. That was sort of a more stalking type of rape. That wasn't like coming out from behind the shadows and just banging your, assailant on the
that was stalking them from their house to the subway.
Exactly. It was kind of a slower rape with that LG. Anyway, dcoy has the lead right now, and he seems to have some level of control. 77 to 100 now as he'll wait on top of the bridge for that red armor, but he better drop down and watch out. Swooped is going to grab it up, and now he'll immediately go over to that Mega and try to engage here. No rail, though, and so he will be forced to head off to the YA. Full control now in this first 50 seconds of the matchup. KM, which is a well-known, long-time Quake clan nightmare, that is dcoy taking on Swooped right now in the loser's bracket matchup.
Yeah, dcoy is playing a nice game. He's keeping Swooped, off his game, and Swooped barely got that rail in there. He took a rocket damage and then a lot of LG, so Swooped is really hurt now. Gonna have to wait at this yellow. dcoy is gonna have full control here. 200, a rocket in the face of Swooped, and then a rail up the pad. So that was some really nice play there by dcoy with that rocket to rail combo. It's gonna keep dcoy in the lead. Is gonna offset this red time and keep Swooped off the time of that red in correspondence to this mega. It's gonna leave Swooped with this yellow, but that's about it.
Slasher, you know, I know that like a lot of the Quake pros and whatnot, the hardcore hate it when we do this, but since there's a lot of people that may not follow Quake that well, it's important that people understand why he did do exactly what he did. And what I'm talking about is waiting for that red armor, because the red armor, you can see there is a time that these guys remember, and your opponent is going to remember that time as well. So you are basically offsetting the time so that your opponent does not know when the red armor is going to spawn, thus making it harder for them to steal away. And, you know, I just want to make sure that anyone who may be new to Quake or not quite understand that concept, timing is a big, big, big part of Quake, as you see there. You know, a perfect dive onto that RA. Anyway, Slasher, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's okay. And I mean, you know, a lot of people that are here, you know, haven't played Quake before. Another frag there by dcoy. We are on the front page of Ustream. We are on a few other outlets that aren't Quake specific. So, I mean, we're going to explain some nuances sometimes. You know, it's not that bad for all of the hardcore Quake players out there. I just wanted to mention before, Seb, one of the organizers of this whole cup, just remind everyone, this is to help silent and deaf gamers all around the world. This tournament is an exhibition tournament where they wanted to pick the best players in North America to, you know, just raise awareness for the league and the organization in general and the things that they're trying to do. So, you know, good job for them putting on this whole tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and I would just say as we see dcoy pretty much take it to Swooped here so far in the first 4 minutes of DM6, I would also just say, you know, any sort of community involvement that people can, you know, get involved with to help the game grow is huge. But anytime you also, you know, do it for a good cause is even better. So I just do have to give my hats off to those guys. It's not easy to organize and do a tournament like this, guys. You know, trust me, from doing this for many, many, many years, the whole waiting game, this and that. It's certainly difficult, so a good thing that they've put together here, and some awesome talent that has come out for it as well. Also, thanks to QuakeLive.tv, because yesterday they did broadcast a lot of games, in fact, and there were some good ones in there as well. So thanks to all those people, and back to the action here. Oh, Swooped is finally going to pick one up, as dcoy didn't even know where he was and managed to just shove a rocket right up his ass to get the frag 7-1. But of course, as you know, Quake is a lot about control and a lot about conversion frags, and he's looking for his first one right here. A nice big buckshot to the face, and Swooped will pick up his second frag. So who knows? Maybe we just had a slow start here, Slasher, and we're on an upswing.
Yeah, I mean, Swooped, I mean, it's still a lot of time in DM6, as we've seen this whole tournament season. You know, so many players going up with big leads in the first half of DM6, and then a run by the other player, you know, getting back in control and, you know, getting those frags back. So dcoy with a 7 frag lead to start this game. You know, Swooped taking back 3 just now. He's going to be able to get this red and get back to Mega without dcoy getting either. And dcoy actually doesn't know. He jumps right past the Mega and still able to get it. Oh no, and he doesn't. So I thought he was going to get it anyway, but Swooped just comes in and hits 2 rockets on him before he's able to pull that off.
Man, you know, sometimes you just experience bad timing in Quake, and that was a great example of bad timing right there. We are going to have the RA up first, and that means that Swooped will head on over, grab that. He's only down by 3 right now with 4 minutes and 37 seconds left to go, and now he'll try to get that aerial position. Thinks his opponent might be over at the columns, and I thought I saw him over there too, but apparently not. Let's switch on over real quick. Okay, dcoy's up on the rail bridge, or rather the rail curve. And we do see Swooped find him. So we'll have a battle here between dcoy. dcoy gets railed again, and a second rail for the impressive. And Swooped will be rewarded with not only the Mega, but also the RA on that one. He could easily take this game. And although dcoy had the control early on, you know, one of the big things about separating yourself, you know, the men from the boys when it comes to Quake, is being able to not only get control and keep control, but also when you lose control, get it back. And we saw a great example of how you lose control and get it back with 0-4 versus the Noobs in the last matchup we saw. dcoy so far has not found what the, you know, where the last 2 pieces of the puzzle are, I suppose, to try to regain control. And Swooped seemed to be having no problem in that department.
Yeah, I mean, after the initial fights, dcoy had a pretty nice control the first good half of this game, but ever since then, Swoop has been able to get those megas, get those reds, not leave a whole lot for dcoy. dcoy was able to do some nice defensive rockets there, and even another rocket up on Swooped on top, which is going to take a lot of damage off of Swoop, but dcoy still does not have any of the timing on the power-ups, and just all the balls just in his face just died instantly, pretty much. So dcoy is going to not do any damage on that frag. Swoop is going to be able to get this mega as he just did, position himself for red, and still have a huge stack.
That plasma was almost just like auto aim. If someone was watching this game for the first time, they'd be like, "Oh, that blue, that one gun that shoots blue, it just auto aims your opponent." Because I think every single bead hit him. That was very nice. He is down by 1 with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to go. You can see Swoop moving through the map with I would say an increased velocity now, trying to find dcoy. dcoy trying to play the best game that he can, does a great job. Baited his opponent back up the columns and uses that LG to knock him down to 3 points of health. Of course, Swooped easily retreats for that mega health and will pick up that RA. But that was some good defense there by dcoy. He definitely had that situation down. That was exactly the right thing to do in that situation. And now Swooped is down to 2 minutes now, in which he has to tie this game up. A great rail from across the map, and he'll try to find him again. He's down below in the columns, but he will wait for him here because he's got mega and RA up here shortly. He'll gladly give up that RA, and a beautiful rail. He sees just a pixel of dcoy, and he wants to make sure to not give dcoy RA, and he now sees him in LG and knows that there's no way he'll be able to get over there. So it is now tied, and Swoop now has full control.
I mean, you know, when Swoop he overextended himself, and dcoy had an opportunity to take that frag with that LG and then take mega and take armor. Swoop got very lucky there, I thought, you know, with that play. And now Swoop with some nice play of himself, being able to take the lead, a rocket towards that hallway. And that shotgun going in the lead 9-7. So dcoy had a chance to take that red off of the spawn, but did not know the timings. All the power-ups were taken, decided to go to LG instead in yellow, and because of that, he's going to go down now 10-7 with a minute to go, not in control. It's pretty much going to be impossible for him to get back in this game. So Swoop taking the game away from dcoy, going up 1-0.
And, you know, not to say that dcoy didn't play a decent game. He just wasn't quite able to, you know, to stop Swoop. Swoop did what he needed to do. He built himself up. He got in the right fight, and he took control, and then he just ran with it. And we almost had a deja vu-like moment from the last set of games we saw, where the person who took the early lead was not the person who ended up winning the game. And those are some of my favorite types of Quake games. With 23 seconds left to go, we will be switching over to the second map, and Swooped has the opportunity to finish writing this book in just 2 chapters. Do you know what the next map is?
Next map will be 27.
And by the way, the guy in chat, Honky Magoo, who just said Halo takes so much more skill than Quake, I hope that you are either joking or, I don't know. I mean, obviously, there's just no, there's no.
I mean, we're trying to have on Sundance from MLG on maybe next weekend. I'm sure that if we pimp it to all the Halo fans, they're gonna have a lot of awards for us and their game.
Like
yeah, I would too.
Would like.
Hey, so DeHang actually told me, and this is good to mention this. So for all of you who don't know, QuakeLive is a free game which you can go to at www.quakelive.com. It is like Quake 3, id Software's Quake 3 that they released over 10 years ago, and they have ported it to play inside of your web browser, either Firefox or Internet Explorer, and we got it instant ready, and you can play it for free out there and download everything. It takes about a half an hour, so go try that.
Yeah, and here we go. We're switching on over now, and we got Swoop versus dcoy. dcoy went up early on DM6, but was not able to to hold on to that lead. Swooped came back, and in the final 2 minutes of the game, grabbed victory and the first game, and now we're going to start fresh. We've got Swooped, I would say, with initial control here, although he doesn't have RA. He seems to have a better grasp on what's going on, as he's going to fight around the columns, and he will grab RA after some nice aim and just some nice positioning there. We've just 30 seconds in, and I've got to say, you know, already Swooped looks like he's got a pretty reasonable advantage.
Yeah, and Swooped is going to force dcoy through that mega, but doesn't take the mega, actually bounces dcoy on top of that mega. So Swooped with a little bit of a mistake there and is able to get the frag anyway with 17 health. So with that, you know, dcoy is able to get that spawn because it is on 27. He should be able to get this red, and he will. So the frag, you know, that he lost there isn't going to work out too bad for him. He's going to be able to get red and yellow and take rail and then have position for this next mega. So we're going to see dcoy going for a strong push to this next mega, I think.
And we'll see as Swooped waits there patiently for that mega. Swooped came in with the right weapon. LG got some nice shots. His opponent tries to peg him with that rail. Gets tagged with a great rocket from dcoy, and it's going to force him to go on the run. But he sneaks in and impressive. Waits for him to come to that teleporter. Alas, he does not. And now he has to make that decision. Does he go for the red?
Ooh.
And he will decide to fight it out, and he scoops it up. However, he's very low on health. He grabs a 25. Bunny hops up to the 50 there, and he is kind of hurting on health a little bit, but he's definitely got control and a 2-point lead in this game. Lands a great rail against Slasher, and he's got to watch out a few more of those nice rockets, and his opponent does have that aerial positioning, but those rails that are coming out of Swooped are really, really nice. There's another one, a fall away rail, as it gives him his third frag and says, hey, here's a nice little red armor for you.
I mean, Swooped is hitting, you know, some really nice clutch rails here. I mean, Swooped hit that clutch flick rail down below on dcoy to get that red, and then Swooped with the, you know, you don't realize, but because Swooped hit that flick rail while jumping off towards the bottom, towards the rocket launcher, while dcoy was up there, Swooped was able to get that red before dcoy could spawn and get that red. So as he was jumping down with that flick rail, that position gave him that red without giving dcoy the spawn.
7 minutes, 22 seconds on the clock. I think you pretty much called it so far because, well, Swooped, again, he's just maintaining control. So he's got a lot of time here, and he can hold on to this. I have no doubt, as we saw in DM6, he was definitely able to hold his own. He's making smart decisions, and he's controlling the map very, very well. What would be the third map, just out of curiosity, if dcoy were to pick this one up, Slasher?
ZTN.
Okay, ZTN. We've seen some good ZTN maps. I think that ZTN is probably becoming another... You know, I always like ZTN, but the style of it has evolved so much. This is probably the map I like the least in this pool.
Yeah, T7?
Yes.
You know that's funny because I like T7 the most, I think. Since I've been playing QuakeLive, I'd rather duel on T7 than any of the other maps. I mean, I can see the issues in this map, especially with the spawn systems and the way where you're kind of penalized for winning the RA fight or mega fight, especially if it's a hard fight and you only have 40 health left even after grabbing mega or red. The opponent is pretty much, especially if you win mega, the opponent gets automatic red and then yellow and then rail, and it is hard. But, you know, besides that, I still like the way that the map is structured.
Wow. A
Nice
triple rail, yes, by Swooped, and that will pretty much seal the deal. You know, 8-0, you get knocked down like that, and a Kirby just came out by dcoy, dude. Anytime you've got an ASCII Kirby, you pretty much, it's game over at that point, dude. Or maybe it was Jigglypuff, I don't know. 5 minutes and 41 seconds left on the clock, and I think that's just 5 minutes and 41 seconds for Swooped to kind of have his way with dcoy, but dcoy actually decides to try something a little bit different, and Slasher, I think the Shoutcaster curse just came into full effect there. Dcoy just basically abused those teleporters. He instantly tries to barrel in and grabs that RA, but Swooped was right there waiting for it. An advantage of knowing the time of that one. And I thought that dcoy might be able to get a little bit more than that, but he did at least get on the board with one. It's 8-1 now, and this game is halfway over.
I mean, Swooped there got a bit over aggressive with that rail, had to rail out too much, and the dcoy came in with that LG. Swooped was hitting so many rails that, you know, once you start hitting so many shots with one weapon, you tend to get a little you overuse it a little too much than you should. So that's what happened there. And then dcoy coming back towards that red, totally didn't see Swooped was standing there. And that's why Swooped has had this position that he has now in the big fight in that yellow room. And Swooped is able to push dcoy away. So Swooped is going to be able to get position on this 50. No, but dcoy chases in with those plasma balls. Is going to allow him to get red and have enough time to get back to Mega if he can.
I don't know. I mean, it's going to be really close here. No, he decided to go down. He decided to help up instead. And what's interesting is that, well, I mean, I guess that was the right move. He knew he was going to have to give it up in that position, but as long as he can hold on to the red, and he's going to take top position, then fall down, maybe a second too early. Nope, Swoop came from down below, so that wasn't a bad mistake. And now dcoy has this position slasher that we talked about in the last game, where we said, can dcoy take a lead where he is down and regain control and win a match? And so far, he seems to be doing okay. He's gotten in a little bit of trouble now as he's down below. And wow, if he escapes out of there, I will be shocked. And he does. With 9 points of health, he'll try to get out of there. Almost snags that RA to at least take it away from Swoop, but no, Swoop got the LG frag, and that will make it 9-2. So I guess the answer has been, or the question has been answered. dcoy was not able to hold on to control, and now Swooped back in that throne that he was very used to.
There was a nice rocket there by dcoy, bouncing Swooped into the air. Wasn't able to get that second rocket there to try to get that frag. That's going to allow Swoop basically just stand here and peek with that rail. He's going to have enough time to go back and get red and then go get another yellow. So only 3 minutes left to go. A 7 frag lead here for Swoop. That's going to allow him, especially on this map, just kind of run around and start peek railing. He's going to catch dcoy with 3 straight rockets in the face, and that is pretty much going to clinch the victory for Swoop. In this round. The winner of this, which is most likely going to be Swoop, he will play the Noobs in the next lower bracket round.
And I caught wind in the channel earlier, Slasher, that the Noobs is going to be ready after this one. So we might get it pretty much right away. And so even though we've had some forfeits, I don't think that's going to impede on our schedule that much. Which makes me very happy. So nice move by Swoop there as he drops down on the YA. Tries to get a jump on his opponent with a rocket, but it's not going to happen. dcoy's going to chase him through that teleporter, and with 2 minutes left to go, I mean, this is pretty much just Swoop's opportunity to have a little exhibition. If he really wanted to hang back and just not care about this game anymore, he totally could. I don't know how exactly he's going to finish it. A nice, impressive, actually, I think that was the 7th or 8th one that I saw flash up there. But they'll play peekaboo here a little bit, and the Mega is picked up by dcoy. Unfortunately, about 10 Megas is not going to help dcoy win this game.
No, and it's not going to. So Swooped will move on and play the Noobs in this next match. I guess Noobs is ready, probably really frustrated after losing such close games 0-4, coming off a
why frustrated, Slasher? Why? Maybe he's like really happy. Maybe he's like, dude, I almost beat 0-4 twice.
You know what? I don't think so, because he showed himself he was good when he beat DeHang yesterday. And then he was probably coming in, I have a shot. I have a shot to win here.
This isn't, this isn't Jean-Claude Van Damme from fucking Bloodsport news. We don't have, there's no Kumite. This is not like, now I'm just gonna, it's not fucking Danny LaRusso and Karate Kid. Not the best around, dude. The fact of the matter is that 0-4 is a champion of years. 10 years plus. You should not be, sure, be disappointed, but at the same time, you should be like, dude, I played 2 really good games versus 0-4. There you go.
He probably does think that, but he had that 5-0 lead on ZTN. He had a 2 frag lead with 2 minutes to go. I mean, those are winnable games to him, where I think, he probably thinks he could have won. He might have, should have won that first map. You never know what would have happened. So, I see him coming in really strong into this next game versus Swooped, wanting to prove. He's going to go back. Then he's going to play against DeHang again. And I bet DeHang is going to, the winner of the Swooped and Noobs game will play DeHang in the next lower bracket match. So DeHang is going to want some revenge against Noobs here. So in the lower bracket, we have Swooped playing against Noobs, and the winner of that plays against DeHang. And still waiting in the upper bracket finals, our former teammates, now that 0-4 has left SK, Rafa and 0-4, which should be an epic, epic match.